With the first ever Celebrity Traitors taking place very soon, let's meet our contestants. Meet Alan Carr. Alan Carr is a 49-year-old comedian and broadcaster, most famous for Alan Carr Chatty Man, that broadcast from 2009 to 2016 on Channel 4. Alan is a multi-award winner, having won the British Comedy Awards 3 times, 2 National Television Awards, and a BAFTA TV award. Alan Carr is like a 2000s Graham Norton, but funnier, and has done an awful lot of radio, which probably won't help in the Traitors because, well, they can see your face. He used to do a lot of stand-up, so he's pretty good at working a crowd, which will be a big bonus at the start because there are a ton of them. He has a very camp voice. He said that. Don't look at me. He has literally said that. His best friend is Adele. Yep, that Adele. So if you haven't heard of him, that's on you at this point. They're such good friends that she officiated his wedding in California. Perhaps if someone starts doubting him, he can just bring out that gem. Well, Adele trusts me. And that should be enough for anyone to drop it. I can't see him being a fantastic traitor. I don't think his lying will hold up to much, but that in of itself may be too much for the producers to ignore. Meet Kat Burns. Kat Burns is younger than me. She's 25 and a singer-songwriter. She's from Streatham. I grew up in Streatham. She loves Ed Sheeran and was able to join him for his mathematics tour. I assume that's his music rather than Kat Burns and Ed Sheeran going around doing algebra. Kat's hit single Go requested we pack up our shit and go, 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 go. But I think she'd make a fantastic traitor. After all, their job is to pack up the faithful shit and make them go. Kat was, unfortunately, on Jules' annual hootenanny in 2022, which I hate. And for that reason, we're going to move on to the next contestant. Meet Celia Imrie. Nanny McPhee is our next resident in the Traitors Castle. Celia Imrie is famous for playing Nanny McPhee in the film of the same name. She was also in the second Mamma Mia film and in Netflix's The Diplomat. She's done a lot of theatre work as well. And this might prepare her well for the castle, giving her an opportunity to play a role. Perhaps as traitor? Only time will tell. But given her ancestral links back to the conspiracy against King Charles II, she would likely make a perfect traitor hunter. Meet Charlotte Church. From such fame as the Charlotte Church Show, Charlotte Church enters the castle as someone towards the lower end of the fameometer. Charlotte was a classical singer who supports Welsh independence and Jeremy Corbyn. Perhaps given the recording was in Scotland, we'll see membership of the SNP come through. Haha, good one. Dickhead. She blew up following a phone call into This Morning where she sang Pi Jesu, followed by her performance on the Big Big Talent Show. Fun fact, she performed at Rupert Murdoch's wedding for free. Obviously getting paid in exposure. She unsuccessfully tried to break into the pop scene and in the last 5 years has done pretty much exclusively reality TV related things. The Masked Singer, performing for Ryan Reynolds' AFC Wrexham, Wheel of Fortune, and now of course The Traitors. I've not got a read on Charlotte's ability to lie, so let me know in the comments. Does Charlotte have the lungs for lying? Meet Clare Balding. Clare Balding, queen of BBC Sports coverage of the Olympics.
Your third leg was just phenomenal.
And presenter of Sports Personality of the Year. How does this help her for the Traitors? She's a descendant of Henry VII, though I'm not sure that's that impressive. I am too, and I wasn't invited to the castle. Weird. She has participated in the celebrity version of The Apprentice. Balding's big advantage is name and face recognition. Everyone in the house surely knows her, and surely trusts her. Will this prove fatal for her? Or some other players. Meet David Olusoga. Famous for producing and presenting historical documentaries such as Britain's Forgotten Slave Owners, Black and British A Forgotten History, and books and lectures on the subject, David Olusoga, OBE, is definitely one of the more serious celebrities in the castle this year, with his filmography almost exclusively being serious documentaries that explore important issues. David's big advantage going into this series has to be his knowledge of producing strong, compelling arguments and putting it to an audience. If he's a traitor, this could be very useful at the round table where, inevitably, he's accused, arguing his corner and moving the case onto someone else. Meet Joe Marler, a former rugby player for England and the Harlequins. He enters the Traitors Castle as someone I would describe as a wildcard. During his professional career, he had a few incidents.
Nothing, just an incident.
Calling people offensive names, grabbing genitals, just things like that. Following his retirement from the game, he set up an OnlyFans where he can buy pictures of his feet and is now on the Traitors, a classic career path for rugby players. Anyway, perhaps he can utilise his prop experience, some rugby thing, and try to win the Traitors. I'll stop, sorry. Meet Joe Wilkinson. Funny man Joe Wilkinson is going to be a traitor. I'm so confident the comedian famous for Taskmaster, 8 out of 10 Cats, Him and Her, and a hell of a lot of stand-up is going to be one of our traitors. Well, probably. Think about him in a robe. Yeah. Joe Wilkinson's charming comedic style will work really well in the challenges and games, but it may not be an effective defense of the round table. Though maybe making everyone else laugh will be enough to move the conversation onto somebody else. Meet Jonathan Ross. Another comedian joins the lineup in the Traitors Castle. Jonathan Ross. Famous for Friday Night with Jonathan Ross, he has definitely scored highly on the fameometer, and his time in the limelight has not been short-lived. He has been famous since the early 90s, so if you don't know who he is, your parents definitely do. Ross has been famous for so long, his controversies section of his Wikipedia page is longer than fellow contestant Charlotte Church's entire page. From inappropriate jokes at awards nights, to working Russell Brand, alleged sex offender on his show and calling out people and telling them he'd fuck their granddaughter, there is a lot there. But how does this help him in the castle? Well, assuming there's no phone calls permitted to people's families, I doubt this will come up. But what might? His homophobia. In 2009, he suggested if your kid was gay, you should put them up for adoption. For reference, there are a number of out contestants taking part in the show with him. I'm not suggesting he's going to be homophobic to them, well, at least I hope not, but it might not position him in the best light if they're aware of his comments. Ross is more of a Marmite candidate, and previous series have shown us that if you're a Marmite, you do go home. I think Ross will be one of the first candidates murdered or banished. What do you think? We're going to be looking at fan theories every single week while the Traitors runs. If that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button. It really helps. Meet Kate Garraway. Another participant in The Masked Singer, Kate Garraway is another contestant on our inaugural Celebrity Traitors. Kate started out as a news presenter for ITV Meridian and now hosts Good Morning Britain. She's done lots of presenting gigs, particularly on game shows like The People's Quiz and The Biggest Loser. This could be super helpful, as she may have to present a case for another contestant to be voted out at the round table. Previously, she has also hosted the National Lottery Draw, so perhaps her being a traitor would be a good call. She could act surprised when the murder is revealed the next morning. I'm not sure I know how the lottery works. Meet Lucy Beaumont. Lucy is a stand-up comedian that you've probably seen on TV, regularly on the panel circuit or supporting her husband, though they are now separated, John Richardson. Lucy centred a lot of her early work around Hull and wrote an exaggerated documentary about her home life with John, Meet the Richardsons, that saw them play themselves for 5 whole series. Beaumont has also written a book about the challenges and struggles of pregnancy and motherhood, something I know a lot about. Beaumont has been a fan favourite on Taskmaster, where she came last, so perhaps she can perform a little better in the Traitors Castle. Meet Mark Bonnar.
There's been an attack on the police.
Mark Bonnar is cemented in my head as a baddie, and not just an evil villain, but a looker too. Mancrash aside, Bonnar has been acting since 2001, including in popular games Assassin's Creed and Battlefield. A lot of his acting credits, including in his first, Rebus, and in my favourite, Line of Duty, see him playing a police officer. This could be a massive help, depending on how accurate these shows are in uncovering the truth. If Bonnar is a faithful, we'll hopefully see him adopt his police persona and attempt to uncover who the traitors are.
I'll fight this.
Or die trying.
My wife and my girls get nothing unless this is in the line of duty.
Meet Nick Mohammed, the Wonder Kid. Sorry, Wunderkind.
Not like I'm some kind of wonder kid.
Some kind of what?
Wonder kid.
I think you mean Wunderkind, yeah?
Yeah.
Nick Mohammed is possibly one of my favourite actors of his generation. From his fantastic reprisal of various roles in Sorry I've Got No Head, to his very famous Nate Shelley in Apple TV original Ted Lasso, Mohammed has demonstrated wit and performance skill. So much so that he might indeed be a fantastic choice for Traitor. Who would think this innocent face could do anything wrong? Meet Niko Omilana, leader of the NDL, former candidate for Mayor of London, candidate for constituency of Richmond and Northallerton, and YouTuber. Niko Omilana is a contestant in the first ever Celebrity Traitors. I'm going to level with you here. I think Niko is going to have done something a bit out there in the Traitors. I think we will see a video titled, I tricked 10 million people into thinking I was a traitor. I think Niko can be screwing with us, or the other contestants. I could tell you about his most famous videos, like the time he went to the most racist town in America, like the time he snuck into a big YouTube boxing fight, like the time he gave a small YouTuber his own movie premiere. But I won't, because Niko is not going to be Niko. I think we've got 2 options. We have someone who looks like Niko doing the show, or Niko playing a character, someone outrageous, someone who stirs the pot, someone who seems too suspicious. Niko could make the Celebrity Traitors incredible, or he could break the show. Only time will tell. If you watch Niko, let me know in the comments which you think he's going to do. Meet Paloma Faith. Singer-songwriter sensation Paloma Faith is coming to the Traitors Castle. She's a self-described MILF, a coach on The Voice, and has so many big songs, there's too many to name.
Do you want the truth or something beautiful?
Invited to join Amy Winehouse's band in 2008, Faith has released hundreds of bangers, and not only that, but Paloma Faith has been acting, featuring in Pennyworth, St. Trinian's and more. But will Paloma Faith be the first MILF traitor? Yeah, I felt pretty disgusting saying that, so let's move on to the next person. Meet Ruth Codd. Statistically, Ruth Codd is going to be the first person banished from the Traitor's Castle. This is Ruth Codd, viral TikToker and actor in Netflix's The Midnight Club. In 2019, Codd had her right leg amputated. This is relevant. She blew up on TikTok during the pandemic due to her, quote, frank and witty takes on everything from makeup and hair to the lockdown and her disability. In Series 1, the first contestant to be banished was Niko Omilana, who was also an amputee, and it's a common theory online that those who are considered to be different are the first to go, particularly those with visible disabilities. Do you think our celebrities will buck the trend? Meet Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry, where to start? My first proper introduction to Stephen Fry was him narrating Little Big Planet.
Occasionally, you're going to get stuck.
He is famously known for hosting QI for many years until Sandy Totsvig took over. He's been in so many movies. I'm going to list you just a few that I consider the best, and you can tell me in the comments that I'm wrong. Gosford Park, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, V for Vendetta, St. Trinian's, Sherlock Holmes, The Hobbit, Stormbreaker. He's also got a storied scripted television history, most notably Blackadder 2 through 4. Stephen Fry, I would argue, is probably the single biggest name partaking in this Celebrity Traitors, and I think that alone gives him a good chance at becoming one of the selected traitors. He makes a fantastic villain, assuming his fame doesn't get him banished early on. Meet Tameka Empson, a face I recognised, but not a name I knew, until I started producing this video. But if you've watched EastEnders since 2009, you know her as Kim Fox. She's not just a soap star though, having appeared in Beautiful People and Whitechapel. She's been nominated for Best Comedy Performance or Funniest Female in an award show pretty much every year since 2011, and won quite a lot of them. Her attitude and wit should be a big bonus to the whole castle, and provide us with some comic relief, which, depending on how our traitors get on, may be needed. Meet Tom Daley, our second athlete from the show and beloved national hero. Tom Daley is famous for being an Olympic diver and champion, particularly during the 2008 and 2012 Olympic Games. He won bronze in London and is a world champion synchronized diver, having won the 10-meter synchro in Tokyo. He's also a YouTuber. Move over Niko. He and his husband have 2 children. He was a pundit for the Paris Olympics and delivered the alternative Christmas message in 2021. He is not afraid of going against the grain. In 2007, he became Sports Personality of the Year, so maybe if Claire is selected traitor, he'll see right through her. Those are your potential traitors for the upcoming series of Celebrity Traitors. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.